Hi, Dee.
Come on in. Roll something. Smoke something with me.
Welcome to the White House.
I have a lot of stuff.
This is a parlor.
Parlor bar. We started collecting, I like to do taxidermy. I take classes in taxidermy. I haven't done these, but we started collecting old vintage, none of these have been game shot, but these are old, all turn of the century monkeys. And so we started calling this the monkey bar because there's several monkeys around. And we thought that was kind of fun.
Right,
because we like monkeys.
And it's a play on word because monkey bars is actually a thing that you can do when you're a kid. And
I just got that.
All right, so here we are. Welcome to my skate park. This is where I come and shred with the boys and get some good training sessions in, practice my tricks, stay on top of my game. Got the artwork over here. My buddy Mad Steez did it. Kind of went with the green and purple vibe in here. Bright colors, good vibes. So basically, I mean, you got most of your classic skate obstacles in here. Got a double set right here. This is the big set of the park. Got this you call the hubba ledge, kinked rail, gap out rail, step up right here. I was very involved with all the specific dimensions of everything and stuff because obviously I'm very experienced. I've been doing this for a while. And this right here is the most used obstacle in the park. Good size rail to learn all my tricks on and then take it to bigger obstacles in the streets or in contests and stuff. So this thing has helped me win a lot of stuff before. Transition section, flow around here, hit this thing's called a pyramid, classic skate park obstacle, and then you got your hip right there, do flip tricks over that. Got everything you need right here to stay on top of your game. I don't skate here every day. I don't really skate every day in general because I get so sore nowadays with injuries and stuff. I mean, the best thing is still skating outside in the streets with your boys, and that will always be the best, but coming here and having a good place to come practice my tricks is definitely important.
So this is where we like to watch movies, and occasionally if anyone wants to show their expertise of modern dance, they are totally allowed. It's almost encouraged. We also have some, 60s velvet, gorgeous nudie women, which is wonderful. Oh, my vagina! I let other people do that, not me.
Hop in, come on, let's go for a ride. So, still a lot of cleaning being done here, but I don't know how to turn the lights on. Let's go upstairs. This is the 80% replica of the actual White House in Washington, D.C. So we built this for my new show called The Oval on BET. And we're really proud of how it turned out. The residents of the White House, famous, iconic window here, President's bedroom. Some hell has gone on in this room over the last episodes. Oh, we've done some everything in here. This is the daughter's room. This is the son's room. We built this about five and a half months ago. We started it. This is the only White House that's ever been built at a studio on a lot, and we are really excited about it. Obama, my man.
So this is the gallery, the art gallery. The person who built the house is a big fan of art, and he was playing with the thought of maybe even having some moving art pieces here. I love the ceilings here because it gives you a lot of space for art. It's really tall. There's benches here for when you get tired of walking to the Skittles machine. This is the Skittles machine that will go to whatever flavor you pick. Would you like some?
This is my living room. A maximalist, not a minimalist. And this room is evidence of it. I have a lot of stuff. You see more of the vintage taxidermy and all my little found treasures. This is a new art piece that a friend of mine from Australia sent to me that does ethical taxidermy of things that died naturally, and she made this bunny a little tailcoat. This is a piece that my friend Stacia found at a flea market and then bought the vintage fabric and redid this piece. This actually was a reproduction of a French sofa. It's not very big, and also I should say every single sofa in this house is extremely uncomfortable. These are some of my favorite taxidermy in the house. These are Victorian-era bird taxidermy in these heart-shaped domes. Every time I've moved house, which is 3 times in the past 20 years, I hand carry those myself because if somebody ever shattered those, I would be devastated. These are all my vintage and rare books. Like, this is a fun one. This is a very rare one. It's been a source of truth in burlesque, and when you look at this book, you realize that burlesque was not all Gypsy Rose Lee or like the movie portrayed burlesque, but really it was kind of a glorified strip club in a lot of ways in the 30s and 40s, and this book is the proof. I have a lot of collections of my vintage feathers from back in the days when ladies used to wear big, beautiful feathers in their hats. And, you know, they don't make them like this anymore, I promise you, because I buy modern feathers all the time, and they do not look like this.
This is, I think, probably my favorite.
Yes, you spend so
I
much
definitely
time
utilize this more than anyone. The music's off now, but we are always running like just Zen garden.
Yeah, half the time I walk down
It's
here
like
when I know who's in
meditation.
here, and I just hear like birds chirping
Yeah,
and
just
waterfalls.
meditation music. But yeah, so here's the dry sauna. This wood all came from a tree that we dragged from the bottom of one of the local lakes. We were actually thinking about making a dining table out of it, but then after seeing what it looked like after it was all cut up and dried out, we decided to use it here. I mean, it's perfect because it's cedar and it just smells so good. This is my spot up here. It's so nice when you're in here and you just watch a family, a deer walk by, and you're just sweating your ass off, and it's just feels nice, you know? So this is the wet sauna. I tend to split my time, but I think I spend the majority of my time in here. But yeah. This is the vibe.
All right, so let's get to the cars. First, we got a 57 Impala right here. We got a Range Rover. We got a Kawasaki and a Ghost, Rolls Royce. Those are my son's cars. He don't really drive those that much. He's too big for that shit. He rides in my cars with me. This is my 6'4" Impala. This is my 62 Impala. This is just for like, you know, when we driving around, when we going fast, when we moving. My baby's mom actually bought me this because I was mad at her, and she wanted me to not be mad at her, so she bought me a car. I hit my switch with the right hand, so. Yeah.
So this was not here, and we just plopped it over here, sort of in the woods. Come on in. So I built this little chapel because we work in the studio, but I wanted to have a place that was just total inspiration. So I built a little chapel. First thing I did was look for an old one, found one online, believe it or not, and they sold us the building for $5,000. But it was so bug rotted that we only were able to save some of the things. Like the beams are old. The flooring is old. It's out of a livery, which is what the barn has as well. And then everything else is kind of made to look old. A couple of things I want to point out. I bought these stained glass windows on eBay. I bought the sign up there and that guy up there through a place called Doc's Architectural, which came to me through eBay. The doors in there are out of an old house, which I found on eBay. Everything that's in here is basically 100 years old and has a story behind it. As you can see, I love old Santos, and so I'm a collector of those, but I love the tradition of religion, just the history behind it. So this place is just filled with weird things. I do love just creating a really inspired place to hang out, a place to be quiet, and that's why I built it. I have to show you one thing that I did actually specifically for my kids, which I found on eBay as well. It's an old church bell. We had it mounted up there, and the kids, since they were little, have been hanging on this rope and pulling this church bell, so.
Want to see my big D? Oh my goodness. Ta-da!
I have the whole sign, but I just put the D up here.
So we are both lifelong Disney fans. For me, it started because my dad worked for Disney when I was very, very young. And so it's always been held a magical place in my heart.
This is the first thing I bought. It was eBay had just started, and one of the first things they were auctioning off the sign, and Michael Jackson wanted it. It was a whole deal. And I put in the first bid, not thinking that I'd win. Called my business manager, like, I think I'm gonna win this big sign. Each letter is 14 by 9 feet, and it lights up at night.
It's very pretty.
This is from Disney World. This is from Snow White. And
Grumpy.
Grumpy. Which,
One of the 7 dwarfs who lives here with us.
is that me? You know, Disney, like when I first started collecting stuff or saying that I was, you know, infatuated with Disneyland, it was sort of a geeky thing, and now it's hip, right? I mean,
It's gotten cooler.
I had dinner once with Ryan Gosling, and he geeked out on Disney stuff. I was like, okay, you know what? Now it's cool. So.
Yeah, if he's doing it, it's cool now.
And over here, we are featuring the world's smallest pool. Ta-da! I live on a hill, as you can see. So I went to the ends of the earth just to create this little baby, okay? It's actually 6 feet deep, it's salt water, it heats up to 100 degrees. On a hot day, you can dip in, and at night, it's nice to get in, and it's like a glorified jacuzzi. Okay, no Jersey house is complete without a swing. I knew building this house, I had to put a swing somewhere, and what better place with this view outside with my baby pool. This is my happy place, and it's where I just swing all my cares away, literally. All above Los Angeles, the city of angels.